Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set today Eddie Smith, and Eddie is with the Middle Tennessee, is it Southern Middle Tennessee?
Middle Tennessee Corvette Club.
Corvette Club, and they've got a big cruise-in coming up.
July 16th.
Okay.
Down in Lynchburg.
And this is going to be how many you've done?
This is our fifth, Jim.
Fifth annual, okay, all right. And tell us a little bit about what happens down there.
Well, as I mentioned, this is our fifth year. We're expecting, this is probably going to be our biggest yet. We're expecting maybe 100 to 125 cars.
That's a lot of them.
Yeah, and I think we've had bump 90, 95 in previous get-togethers down there. So down at Wiseman Park in Lynchburg.
That's a great place to have this.
It is. It really is. It really is. And of course, you know, we do this sort of in conjunction with Jack Daniels. You send out information on any of the Corvette clubs across the country, and you mention that, and you know, light goes off. Yep.
Yeah.
We know where that is, and yep, we'll come.
That was pretty smart of you guys, because a lot of people are Lynchburg is a great destination, and what a team when you team Corvettes and Jack Daniels together. That's a great combination.
It is. It really is. It sure is.
As long as you're not drinking the Jack Daniel too much when you happen to be driving.
You probably don't want to do that. No,
Yeah,
no,
right.
no. These the law enforcement, they watch you anyways, so that's just adding to the fire if you do something like that.
I would imagine that's quite true. If you're driving a Corvette, they're probably going to have their eye on you. Yeah.
I mean, it seems that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
So, how many people locally? You guys have got how many people involved?
We have,
in
I
that?
think, 44 members. I believe we have, Jim. Presently, we've added on a few here in recent weeks. As you noticed over here at Stan McNabb's, he's got a nice selection. If anybody wants to stop in and browse around and join our club. So.
Yeah, and you know, I was always under the, until we started doing, you guys started doing this, I was always under the impression that if you wanted a Corvette, you probably had to order it. But it's Stan McNabb's, they actually keep them in stock.
He does, he really does. I think it's probably about 6 or 8 new ones sitting over there at any one time.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Sure is.
Now, what does a new Corvette cost a man these days?
Base price, you can get a cheap one for about $60, and you can just about double that if you're going up to the Z06 fully decked out Jim with 650 horsepower, about 115,000.
650 horsepower, that is unbelievable. What would the top speed on the you have any idea?
Yeah, well, around here it'd be if you could find a road to really find
I mean,
that.
I would imagine it'd be in excess of 200 miles an hour, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I have an older one. I have a 25-year-old vet, and I had it up to 135 at one time, so I know they can climb on up there.
Wait a second. You actually drove that car 135?
Well, actually 133, yeah. I had come down here from Hendersonville years ago. Mom was in the hospital, and I thought I'd finally open it up. I got on the interstate just up there at 41. You have that long down through there, and I hit it, but you couldn't stay on it very long because you figure you're going about twice as fast as other vehicles, and it's like, shoo, so if one pulls out in front of you, so that's, it may have gone, I could have gone faster than that, but yeah. Never do it again, though, you know.
Did it make you a little nervous?
Not till after you thought about it, not till after you did.
How old were you when you did that?
This would have been, 52 years old.
Yeah.
That's
still,
telling my age 13 years ago.
52 is still pretty old to be doing something that crazy.
Sometimes you don't grow up in certain things, Jim. So.
You've had Corvettes for a long time, haven't you? How old were you when you got your first?
I got my first Vet. I had a '69. I bought it in '74, so I was about 23 years old. Wish I had it now, orange and white. You know, I'm a big Tennessee fan.
Yeah, right.
Had the big block, 427, 4-speed. Of course, gas was only 30 cents a gallon.
30 cents a gallon,
so,
probably.
You know, it's a big difference. You didn't worry about your gas mileage.
Yeah.
Then in the late 70s, I bought a used green Stingray, a 72, and then now I've got my 90 L68 yellow coupe. I've had it since '98. So
yeah.
probably the last one unless I hit the lottery.
unless you hit the lottery, and then you're going for if it's a lot of money, you're going to go for the top of the line, $120,000.
Well, if you get that, you probably have one for each day of the week.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's true. That's true. Okay, well, you know, and I would guess the good thing about a Corvette is it doesn't matter what model year it is. There are always, a car that's going to stand out in a crowd, no matter what model year it is. Even I guess the first year was 55, wasn't
53.
it? 53. Okay.
53.
So,
to give you some history briefly, Corvette was initially a show car, and General Motors built one car for the New York Auto Show at the Waldorf Astoria back in 1953. It was, they call it Polo White Convertible. There was such good reaction from the public that they said, we'll make this a production car. So they built 300 first year. In fact, next Thursday will be the anniversary of the first Corvette ever built. It was June 30th, 1953, as a matter of fact. And decked out, expensive car then, $3,500.
$3,500.
And if you have one of those today in not real good condition, about $160,000. In cherry condition, probably around $400,000.
That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
It really is.
Do I recall were the first Corvettes in '53 were they 6-cylinders?
They had what they called a Blue Flame 6, a straight 6-cylinder Jim with 2-speed automatic, big 150 horsepower. And the concept of the Corvette, you know, for years you had the European cars, you had the Porsches and the Ferraris, and here stateside we never had really anything to compete with that. So that sort of hatched out from that, and over the years, of course, it's evolved into, well, America's sports cars. So you ride down the road, and it doesn't matter if you're in Tennessee or Florida, and oncoming traffic, here comes a Vet, there's always a V goes up.
Yeah. Well, what were the first ones built? Were they fiberglass bodies?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
They initially production was in Flint, Michigan, then moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and then 82, 83, they moved down to Bowling Green, Kentucky, and that's a unique situation there because the 1983 was not a production year. There's only one 83 in existence, and it's in the museum up there at the Corvette Museum.
You know, this is we're going to try to get a shot of this right here. This is going to be on the T-shirt you guys are using.
It depicts each model year.
Right.
It says on there from the Blue Flame 6 to the Z06. It goes from the first one, 1953 model, up through the C7, which was started production in 2014.
Yeah. Okay. Will you be selling these now, then?
I imagine Stan will put one on you.
Yeah, okay. All right, good deal. All right, again, Eddie, that's coming up the 16th.
The 16th.
In Lynchburg, and what time does it start?
Probably around 9, 10 in the morning, and as I mentioned, we'll have clubs. We have, I talked to one gentleman a couple weeks ago that's coming in from Louisiana. He's got a double supercharged. It's got 880 horsepower. So
unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
You know, how many horsepower before you don't need any more, Jim?
Right. Yeah. These days I'm good with that first one, which you said was 150. You know, I've got more sense than I did when I was when I was a teenager.
I want to thank you for each year you sort of come down and see us. And
I love that. I love
it.
I'm sort of a car guy as well, and and I love that kind of stuff. And it's amazing. You can see all kinds of Corvettes down there. And again, no matter what model year they are, they're all kind of unique in their own right, and they're fun to watch and fun to see. And it's also fun to talk to people about their Corvettes. Because
you hear all kinds of stories of how their first Corvette, or this is mine. Some people get one new one every year. So
yeah. You know, strangely enough, before I got here this morning, I thought, I'm going to ask Eddie how fast he's ever been in a Corvette. And I thought I was going to ask you and Trent, and I thought, no, Trent's young enough, I probably shouldn't ask him because he might still get in trouble.
Well, Stan may wave an eyebrow at that.
But it's funny you mentioned that, 135 miles an hour, unbelievable. Okay. They're fun to drive, and they're also fun to watch, and that's a great event. I think they've got don't they have food on the premises there somewhere?
Well, in walking distance to the square up there.
That's right. That's right. And as I said previously, Lynchburg's always a great place to visit just anytime. July 16th, Eddie says they'll start about 10 o'clock in the morning. Eddie, thank you so much for coming by.
Jim.
Always fun, always good to see you. And I noticed he mentioned just a moment ago about the first Corvette was orange and white. Things are looking good for Tennessee right now.
Amen.
Yeah, okay. All right. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment. More living right after this.